Once again, boxing family, and welcome back to another prediction video. I thank you for tuning in once again, and before I get into the content, I would just ask the usual of you that you would share, like, hit the bell notification, and if you're watching, you might as well subscribe. You're just pressing a button. That would be a tremendous help to me, and I would really appreciate it. The fight I'll be bringing to you in this video is coming by way of request, and it is another good one from Terrell C. I thank you for your requests and for participating in the channel. I also thank you for your patience because it seems that you requested this a while back and I just somehow overlooked it. But I've been making it a point to go through all of my videos, comments, and just make sure that I cover as many fights as possible. It's my goal to cover every request. So if I haven't gotten to you yet, I'm coming. But the fight that Terrell wanted me to cover, C wanted me to cover is a heavyweight contest between Roy Jones Jr. and Rocky Marciano. Very interesting matchup. And I thought I did this fight before, but apparently I did. So let's get into it. Roy Jones Jr., of course, only had one fight at heavyweight against John Ruiz. But I truly feel that he would have been more successful had he continued at heavyweight. He would have made a terrific heavyweight, and his timing would have been great because I believe that he would have beaten a lot of those heavyweights. They were there for the taking, especially with his speed, his reflexes, and his natural abilities. So yes, he only had one fight at heavyweight, but he looked great. And a lot of times when you're moving up in weight, having the speed advantage, I mean, you can have real success. As far as Rocky Marciano was concerned, we all know how tough, gritty, powerful he was. But as I always say, and others have said, if there's no target, then the power doesn't matter. So, could Roy Jones Jr. possibly outbox him, out-hustle him, and outwork him? Or is Rocky Marciano just too powerful, too dangerous, and does he just hit too hard for Roy Jones Jr.? Because one punch could end the fight. And honestly, this is a very dangerous fight for Roy because for all of his gifts and natural abilities, would he be able to gain Rocky Marciano's respect? Would his punches have impact against Rocky? Because the last thing Roy needs is Rocky Marciano walking through his punches and not having respect for him whatsoever. In a lot of Roy's fights, he likes to do the rope-a-dope, and I don't think the rope-a-dope would work against Marciano because Marciano would probably be able to crack that guard. And I'm not sure if Roy would be able to take those body shots. But on the other hand, and I'm about to contradict myself, now that I think about it, John Ruiz is bigger than Rocky Marciano. And Roy was able to neutralize Ruiz's power, size, and strength advantage. Now, of course, the nostalgia factor isn't there for John Ruiz. And Rocky Marciano was more explosive and exciting than John Ruiz. But we have to deal more with the realities inside of the ring. And if Roy Jones was able to have success against Ruiz, then I'd imagine he'd be on a level playing field with Rocky Marciano. And like John Ruiz, Rocky Marciano was an extremely physical fighter with a high pressure bullying style. But something else to consider. Now, I'm not trying to throw referee Jay Nady under the bus, but I feel that he didn't allow John Ruiz to work Roy's body without warning him. And John may have had more success in the fight if he was able to establish a sustained body attack. That's not to say he would have won, but it may have been a little closer. Who knows? But another major factor in this fight we have to consider is Roy's speed. And we know that Rocky Marciano wasn't the quickest fighter. So I could see Roy Jones being able to counterpunch him and pot shot him. But something else in Rocky's favor, he has experience going hard for 15 rounds. So this fight could come down to who has the best stamina. But Roy, for the most part, was always in tremendous shape. I mean, the first time I didn't see him in the best shape is his first fight against Tarver. But the reality is, Roy was the better all-around fighter, but Rocky Marciano was the more seasoned and tested fighter. But I think this fight is going to come down to speed. And I do see Roy being able to easily counter Rocky Marciano, not to mention his tremendous footwork and reflexes. And I do see Rocky becoming frustrated that he won't be able to land as easily on Roy as he'd like to. Roy Jones had a dedication to conditioning, and so I think he would be just fine going 15 rounds with Rocky Marciano. Now, there's no way that Roy knocks Rocky out. I don't see that happening. But I think he'd be able to pull off a 12-round decision. Those are my thoughts. Please let me know what you think. I'll see you next time.